Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is VC Pramod with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon private sector to come forward and contribute in the education sector. Prime Minister says holistic education system is vital for national transformation. India Post Payments Bank and LIC Housing Finance Limited to provide home loan products to over 4 crore 50 lakh customers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair 13th Brics Summit on Thursday. National COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 70 crore mark. Recovery rate stands at 97.48%. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extends greetings on the occasion of 417th Prakash Parv of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Taliban announced new government in Afghanistan, Mullah Hassan to lead the government. And in US Open tennis tournament, Novak Djokovic and Alexander Zevarev advance to men's quarterfinals. Raducanu will face Olympic gold medalist Belinda Bencic in the women's quarterfinals. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 01123978046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called upon the private sector to come forward and contribute their bit in the education sector. Mr. Modi said the government is tirelessly bringing vibrant changes in the education sector to change the face of education. He said there is need to constantly redefine and redesign the teaching-learning process in order to make the education sector world-class. The Prime Minister stressed that in this rapidly changing era, the teachers also have to learn about new systems and techniques rapidly.
भारत के शिक्षक दुनिया में जहां भी कहीं जाते हैं, अपनी एक अलग छाप छोड़ते हैं. इस वजह से आज भारत के युवाओं के लिए दुनिया में अपार संभावनाएं भी हैं. हमें आधुनिक एजुकेशन इकोसिस्टम के हिसाब से खुद को तैयार करना है और संभावनाओं को अवसरों में बदलना भी है. इसके लिए हमें लगातार इनोवेशन करते रहना होगा. हमें टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस को लगातार रीडिफाइन और रीडिजाइन करते रहना होगा.
Speaking after launching multiple key initiatives in the education sector during the inaugural conclave of Shikshak Parv, the Prime Minister said education should not only be inclusive but also equitable. He said that is why today the country is making technology like talking books and audio books a part of education. Indian Sign Language Dictionary and audio and text-embedded sign language video for the hearing impaired in conformity with universal design of learning, talking books which are audio books for the visually impaired and school quality assurance and assessment framework of Central Board of Secondary Education were launched on the occasion. Mr. Modi also launched Nishtha Teachers Training Program for Nipun Bharat and Vidyanjali Portal for facilitating education volunteers, donors and corporate social responsibility contributors for school development. Mr. Modi said Nishtha 3.0 will encourage competency-based teaching, art integration and creative and critical thinking. The Prime Minister expressed hope that National Digital Educational Architecture, that is NDIA, is going to play a big role by eliminating inequality in education. The Prime Minister said the initiatives launched will shape the future of the education sector. One of the initiatives, School Quality Assessment and Assurance, will not only make education competitive, but will also make students future ready. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said a holistic education system is vital for national transformation. Mr. Modi shared a tweet of MyGov India showing a glimpse of the transformation in the field of education in the last 7 years. Comparing the infrastructure created for children of New India in 2020 with that in 2013, MyGov said 90% schools have been provided with hand wash facility in comparison to 2013, when the facility was only 36%. In case of girls' toilet, 97% of schools have been covered in 2020, which was 89% in 2013. It also said medical check-up facility is available in 82% schools, which was only 61% in 2013.
India Post Payments Bank and LIC Housing Finance Limited today announced a strategic partnership for providing home loan products to over 4 crore 50 lakh customers of India Post Payments Bank. Ministry of Communication in a statement said, through its robust and extensive network of 650 branches and more than 1,36,000 banking access points, India Post Payments Bank IPPB will make home loan products accessible to its customers pan-India. The ministry said the alliance with LIC Housing Finance Limited is part of IPPB's strategy to expand its range of products and services and to cater to the banking and financial needs of diverse customers across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will chair the 13th Brics Summit Thursday in a virtual format. The meeting will be attended by the President of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro, President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, President of China, Xi Jinping, and President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa.
India today achieved another milestone in its journey to inoculate the country's population against COVID-19 disease. The Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia said the country has administered 70 crore vaccine doses till now. The minister said of these, over 10 crore doses were administered in just the last 13 days. Mr. Mandavia has congratulated all the health workers and people for this momentous achievement. The Health Ministry said over 42,000 people recovered from the infection during the last 24 hours. The recovery rate currently stands at 97.48%. Daily positivity rate is reported to be at 2.05% and it is less than 3% for the last 8 days. 290 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has inaugurated 3 COVID-19 vaccination centers in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh under Swarna Bharati Trust. Speaking after opening the vaccination centers at a program held at Muchintal near Hyderabad, he asked people to follow COVID protocol even after taking 2 doses of the vaccine. Stating that there is no need for misconceptions about the vaccine, he said the national vaccination program should become a mass movement. All India Institute of Ayurveda under Ministry of Ayush has signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU in coordination with the Western Sydney University, Australia, in virtual mode to appoint an academic chair in Ayurveda. The MOU was signed by Professor Tanuja Nesari, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, and Vice Chancellor and President, Western Sydney University, Australia, Professor Barney Glover. The new academic chair will undertake academic and collaborative research activities in Ayurveda.
The country has witnessed a sharp decline in the number of eye donations and corneal transplantation due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Namrata Sharma, Department of Ophthalmology, AIMS, New Delhi said the country has seen 63% decline in eye donations and 52% drop in corneal transplantation during the COVID period in comparison to pre-COVID period.
अगर हम साल देखें तो ये कलेक्शन 18,359 है। इसमें 63% की गिरावट आ गई है। कॉर्नियल सर्जरीज अगर हम देखें या कॉर्नियल ट्रांसप्लांट देखें तो अप्रैल 2019 से मार्च 2020 में 27,075 हम लोग कॉर्नियाज कलेक्ट करते थे। पिछले साल ये काफी कम हो गई और इनमें 52% की गिरावट आई। हम 12,998 ही कर पाए।
Maharashtra's Health Minister Rajesh Tope has urged people to strictly follow COVID protocol and avoid crowding during the upcoming Ganesh Utsav festivities. Citing Kerala's example, which saw a spike after Onam, Mr. Tope said huge gatherings and relaxed norms can lead to increased transmission, and hence all devotees must exercise caution and discipline while celebrating the festival. The 10-day Ganeshotsav festival begins on the 10th of September.
The Meghalaya government has issued fresh protocols for entry into the state. According to the Health and Family Welfare Department, the new protocol states that it is mandatory for all travellers entering the state to register themselves prior to their travel with meghalayaonline.gov and to download the Arogya Setu app and the Behavioural Change Management app of Meghalaya from the Google Play Store. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon private sector to come forward and contribute in the education sector. Prime Minister says holistic education system is vital for national transformation. India Post Payments Bank and LIC Housing Finance Limited to provide home loan products to over 4 crore 50 lakh customers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair 13th Brics Summit on Thursday. National COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses the 70 crore mark. Recovery rate stands at 97.48%. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extends greetings on the occasion of the 417th Prakash Purab of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Taliban announces new government in Afghanistan, Mullah Hassan to lead the government. And in US Open tennis tournament, Novak Djokovic and Alexander Zevarev have advanced to the men's quarterfinals. Raducanu will face Olympic gold medalist Belinda Bencic in the women's quarterfinals. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
स्वाधीनता संग्राम के वे निशान जो साक्षी हैं हमारे सेनानियों के संघर्ष और बलिदान के। आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष श्रृंखला निशान। हर बुधवार को शाम 4:45 पर कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में FM गोल्ड 100.1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पर।
Welcome back to the evening news. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has approved delegation of financial powers to the armed forces for revenue procurement. The primary focus of the enhanced delegation of financial powers is to empower field commanders and below to procure equipment and warlike stores in a speedy manner for urgent operational necessities and meeting essential sustenance requirements. A general enhancement of up to 2 times has been approved for the competent financial authorities. Delegated financial powers of Vice Chiefs of the services have been increased by 10%, subject to an overall ceiling of 500 crore rupees. The Defence Ministry said the last such enhancement at all levels for the defence services was done in 2016. Coal India Limited has signed an MOU with the Department of Sports in New Delhi today for betterment of sports infrastructure in the country. Under the MOU, Coal India Limited, under its Corporate Social Responsibility Programme, will contribute 75 crore rupees towards the National Sports Development Fund. The fund will be used for construction of 3 large hostels meant for sportspersons. These hostels will be constructed at Lakshmi Bai National Institute of Physical Education, Gwalior, and Sports Authority of India centres at Bhopal and Bengaluru, with a combined capacity of 350 sportspersons. The initiative is seen as a significant step towards reaping the sports atmosphere created through the recent success in the Olympics and Paralympics, where India finished with the best ever medals tally. The MOU signing ceremony was held in the presence of Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur and Coal Secretary Dr. Anil Kumar Jain.
खेलों को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए कॉर्पोरेट जगत को आगे आने की भी आवश्यकता है, प्राइवेट संस्थाओं को और पब्लिक सेक्टर एंटरप्राइजेस को भी। और मैं आभार प्रकट करता हूं कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड का, जिन्होंने 3 स्पोर्ट्स हॉस्टल की स्थापना के लिए बेंगलुरु, ग्वालियर और भोपाल के लिए 75 करोड़ रुपए का अनुदान किया है। ये तीनों हॉस्टल बनने से जहां एक और खिलाड़ियों को सुविधाएं मिलेंगी, वहीं कोयले के पैसे से हीरों को तराशने का काम किया जाएगा। भविष्य के खिलाड़ियों को भारत के लिए पदक जीतने के लिए सुविधाएं देने का काम किया जाएगा।
The central government today inaugurated 5 food processing projects in Assam, Gujarat and Karnataka. These projects will benefit the farmers and provide employment opportunities. Union Food Processing Industry Minister Pashupati Kumar Paras and Minister of State for Food Processing Industry Prahlad Singh Patel virtually inaugurated these projects worth over 124 crore rupees. Speaking on the occasion, Food Processing Industry Minister Pashupati Kumar Paras said these projects will provide benefit to over 7,600 farmers. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupender Yadav today dedicated the first functional smog tower in India at Anand Vihar, Delhi. He expressed hope that the pilot smog tower project will yield fruitful results and supplement the air quality improvement efforts.
In West Bengal, BJP has asked the Election Commission to restrain All India Trinamool Congress candidate Mamata Banerjee from contesting the by-poll in Bhawanipur. In a complaint filed by BJP against Mamata Banerjee government for announcing a grant of 50,000 rupees to each Durga Puja committee in the state, the BJP has called it a violation of Model Code of Conduct, as by-poll is scheduled for Bhawanipur Assembly seat in the state on the 30th of September, in which Mamata Banerjee is the All India Trinamool Congress candidate. Political activity has gained momentum in Uttar Pradesh, with assembly polls fast approaching. Political maneuvering has started and different parties are reaching out to the people. AIR Lucknow correspondent reports that in the series of its intellectual summits termed as Prabudh Sammelan, Bahujan Samaj Party organized one such gathering in Lucknow, also in which Party Supremo Mayawati was present. The BSP chief criticized the Congress and Samajwadi Party and called for Dalit Brahmin unity to bring the party back in power. In another political development, Asaduddin Owaisi, chief of AIMIM, visited Ayodhya district and addressed a gathering there.
In Karnal district of Haryana, the farmers from Punjab, Haryana and other neighbouring states gathered in large numbers at the Anaj Mandi and held their protest today amidst tight security arrangements. The farmers are demanding action against the SDM, who had ordered use of force against the crowd in Karnal on the 28th of August. They are also demanding 25 lakh rupees as compensation and government job for the kin of farmer Sushil Kajal, who had died after getting injuries in the lathi charge, and 2 lakh rupees compensation for each injured farmer. As per the report, police later detained farmer leaders. Chhattisgarh police have arrested Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel's father, Nandkumar Baghel, in connection with a case registered against him for his alleged derogatory and inflammatory statements targeting a particular community. Raipur District Superintendent of Police Prashant Agarwal told media that 86-year-old Nandkumar Baghel was brought from Delhi and the arrest was recorded in Raipur. He was produced before a local court which remanded him to 14 days judicial custody as he did not file a bail application.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur today said that India and Bangladesh enjoy strong and historic ties and they will be further strengthened. He said this after meeting his Bangladeshi counterpart, Dr. Hassan Mahmood, in New Delhi. Mr. Thakur also said Bangladesh and India share historic ties. Bangladesh is celebrating 50 years of liberation and India is also celebrating 75 years of independence. Both the leaders discussed a range of issues, including people-to-people exchanges, IFI, bilateral films production, amongst others. Information and Broadcasting Minister of Bangladesh, Dr. Hassan Mahmood, today launched a book, A Bangladesh War Commentary, authored by UL Barua. Mr. Barua was Director General of All India Radio.
In an unusual move, Chinese President Xi Jinping has appointed a new Commander General, Wang Haitiang, for People's Liberation Army's Western Theatre Command, which oversees the borders with India. General Wang Haitiang, 58, has replaced General Xu Qiling, 59, who was promoted only in July this year to head the Western Theatre Command becoming the fourth commander to head the Western Theatre Command after the Eastern Ladakh standoff with India began in May last year. The 417th Prakash Purab of Sri Guru Granth Sahib is being celebrated with full devotion and regard today. The Guru Purab is celebrated on the 15th day of Bhadon every year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted the people on the sacred occasion of the Prakash Purab of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said its noble principles, the emphasis on compassion, justice and equality guide the entire humankind.
In Afghanistan, Taliban has announced a cabinet for a new Afghan caretaker government. According to news agency AFP, Mullah Muhammad Hassan Akhund will lead the new Taliban government and the group co-founder Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar will be his deputy. The Taliban announced the first members of their new Afghanistan government after delaying it twice. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in Morning News since the 16th of August and will continue till the 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826546262, repeat 8826546262, or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. Let's listen now to our special program Azadi Ka Safar.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव। आजादी का सफर with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day. Mahatma Gandhi participated in the second Roundtable Conference this day in the year 1931 in London.
To review the working of Government of India Act 1919, the Simon Commission was appointed in 1927. The report of the Simon Commission became the basis of discussions held in Britain to consider the future constitution of India.
These discussions were held in a series of meetings in 3 sessions and were known as the Roundtable Conference. The first session, which started in November 1930, had 73 representatives from all Indian states and all parties except the Indian National Congress.
Indian National Congress was waging a civil disobedience movement against the colonial British government. The second session from September 1931 was attended by Gandhiji as the Congress representative. It failed to reach an agreement either on the constitution or on communal representation.
The third and the last session was held in November 1932, was shorter and less important, with neither the Congress nor the British Labour Party attending.
It was the result of deliberations at the Roundtable Conferences that the British government came up with the Government of India Act 1935, which established provincial autonomy in India.
Today is also the death anniversary of a prolific writer and freedom fighter, Ram Brics Benipuri. Ram Brics Benipuri hails from Muzaffarpur in Bihar.
Benipuri took active part in the agitation against the Rowlatt Act and participated in the non-cooperation movement. Benipuri was the leading light of the Congress Socialist Party.
He had also been the president of the Provincial Kisan Sabha of Bihar and the vice president of the All India Kisan Sabha. At the 50th session of the Congress held at Faizpur in 1937, he moved a resolution on the abolition of zamindari. While imprisoned in Hazaribagh jail, he also initiated a campaign, Janehu Todo Abhiyan, against casteism.
Benipuri was also a close associate of Jayaprakash Narayan. It was Benipuri who helped Jayaprakash Narayan escape from the Hazaribagh Central Jail in 1942.
Ram Brics Benipuri was a prolific writer. Benipuri's first writing was published in 1916 in the paper named Pratap from Kanpur. The papers he edited were Tarun Bharat, Kisan Mitra, Golmaal, Balak, but the publication of Yuvak in 1929 made him more popular.
His stories picture the true rural life of North Bihar. His dramas covered mostly ancient events. He wrote Amba Palai during his detention in the Hazaribagh Central Jail. On this day in 1933 was born Ella Bhatt, a pioneer in women's empowerment and grassroots development. Ella was born in Ahmedabad. As a teenager, she influenced by the freedom movement. She was influenced by the freedom movement, which was at its peak then. Influenced by the Gandhian philosophy, Ella pursued the path of non-violence and self-reliance.
She is also known as the gentle revolutionary because of the way she brings women's issues to the forefront without resorting to violence. Ella Bhatt founded the Self-Employed Women's Association in India in 1972.
She was awarded the Raman Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership in 1977. The Government of India also awarded Ella Bhatt with the civilian honour of Padma Shri in 1985 and the Padma Bhushan in 1986.
She has served as a member of the Indian Parliament from 1986 to 1989.
Ella Bhatt is associated with a group called The Elders. The Elders is an independent group of global leaders working together for peace, justice and human rights. Ella is particularly involved with the initiative on equality for women and girls, including on the issue of child marriage.
Ella Bhatt has been honoured with the prestigious Radcliffe Medal and the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development 2011 for her lifetime achievements in empowering women through grassroots entrepreneurship.
It was my childhood, my growing up. In total, that has become more impressive to me. I have been influenced by the freedom movement.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In US Open tennis tournament, Novak Djokovic and Alexander Zevarev have advanced to the men's quarterfinals. In the women's singles, 11th seed Belinda Bencic defeated 7th seed Iga Swiatek 7-6, 12, 6-3 in 2 hours and 7 minutes. In another match, Emma Raducanu defeated Shelby Rogers 6-2, 6-1 to reach her maiden Grand Slam quarterfinal. In the quarterfinal, Raducanu will face Olympic gold medalist Belinda Bencic.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will vary between 28 and 33 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum temperature will be 23 degrees, maximum around 28. Chennai is expected to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will vary between 25 and 34 degrees. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 26 degrees, maximum of around 32. Hyderabad to have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Visakhapatnam will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon private sector to come forward and contribute in the education sector. Prime Minister says holistic education system is vital for national transformation. India Post Payments Bank and LIC Housing Finance Limited to provide home loan products to over 4 crore 50 lakh customers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to chair 13th Brics Summit on Thursday. National COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 70 crore mark. Recovery rate stands at 97.48%. Prime Minister Modi extends greetings on the occasion of 417th Prakash Parv of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Taliban announce new government in Afghanistan, Mullah Hassan to lead the government. And in US Open tennis tournament, Novak Djokovic and Alexander Zevarev advanced to men's quarterfinals. Raducanu will face Olympic gold medalist Belinda Bencic in the women's quarterfinals. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.